Okay, hello, yeah, the great and glorious Nick Dutch yet again. Just another short video referring back to magic, demonology, obviously the subjects which I tend to cover within my videos on YouTube. Hopefully by now you'll have not just reviewed this one particular video, but you'll have gone back to my account and reviewed some of the other ones, so you can get much more of an idea as to what my argument is, and the fact that I, number one, take the point of view that it is fun to play around with the supernatural. You don't have to jump to any conclusions. Belief itself can be a bad thing because you end up starting to drive yourself a little potty. I suppose there is a downside and a disadvantage to magic or supernatural activity in the fact that in some individuals the smallest sense of success can then lead to gross generalizations which are then presumed to be true. For instance, if one does one particular form of ritual or ceremonial magic and one gets a variety of success, a variety of results, the practicing individual may then suddenly say to themselves, "It works," which, as you know by now, is a phrase that I despise. But these leaps of faith do just happen with some individuals. This has to be, I suppose, fought against, because the people who jump to these conclusions are doing themselves some damage in the fact that they are simplifying their outlook upon life. They haven't broken down or analysed what particular things worked and what particular things didn't. And so it stops being a science, it stops being an art, and it just becomes a variety of do-it-yourself religion. If you want to be a do-it-yourself religionist, by all means go for it, but please don't call yourself a magician, because that's lying to yourself and other people. Another pitfall you've got to watch out for is there's plenty of people out there who are of a certain psychological or psychiatric mentality, who can therefore assume that they have the right to go around telling people, "No, I'm a very powerful magician, therefore everything that I do will always work, and you better be afraid of me." I definitely see the people who say these things as people with a psychiatric problem. I don't see them as people who are telling the truth. I see them as people who are telling a lie, and it's a lie that they have started to believe, namely to accept as truth without it necessarily being proven sufficiently by any standards whatsoever to be a truth. So from your point of view, as someone who is getting involved with magic, the supernatural, meditation, prayer, trying to do the seemingly miraculous using allegedly or real supernatural phenomenon, what is the point of it all for yourself? Number one, I would say it's fun. It's a great thing to do, to be able to play around, do ritual magic, have strange sensations happening, and think, wow, what's really going on here. But don't jump to the conclusion that you have knowledge when you've only had one small experience. Now, there are many anecdotal things which I could tell you of things which have happened to me. They are evidence that under those particular circumstances, those particular strange things seem to occur. But the full nature of the phenomenon in question, down to my own brain chemistry at the time, the brainwave frequency I was in, the food that I'd eaten, any chemicals that happened to be in the air at the time, all these things I cannot provide a full and thorough analysis of. Prior to doing any form of magic, I did not go through sweat tests, blood tests, hair tests, fingernail tests to ascertain the levels of vitamins, minerals, and any other chemicals in my body, for instance. Alright, I haven't gone through very detailed medical analysis to work out the precise state of my body so I can then recreate it. I have not done an analysis of my gut flora and fauna, alright, and anything else which might create the results seeming or real or allegedly real. Okay, so from your point of view, you just got to see this as fun, you got to see this as experimental, you got to see this as something that you enjoy. Please, 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 please do not jump to the conclusion that just because you actually do see a full physical manifestation of, let's say, an angelic being, that the angelic being is in fact real. Do carry on telling yourself that during that particular situation that's what seemed to be real, but you have to keep yourself sane and rational, so you have to carry on disbelieving. The reason I'm making this video is because there may be individuals out there who have decided that, yeah, they're going to do demonology and it's going to be great fun. But they have, or they may have, jumped to the conclusion as to what a demonologist actually is about, and may jump to conclusions that could be detrimental to their survival in their future. If you take into account a few hundred years ago, if my memory serves me correctly, of the program I saw on the Discovery Channel, there was a lady who, an aristocratic lady, who eventually died under mysterious circumstances, and she was given a full autopsy, primarily to destroy the body in case she came back as a vampire, because there was a strong belief in vampirism at the time. It turned out that she had a disease that we now call gut or bowel cancer, and it was the cancer that was essentially making her pale, making her lose weight, and all the rest of it. So this is a demonstration of what human beings are like. Human beings, that means you, and that can mean me if I hadn't taken this rational perspective, can jump to a lot of conclusions which can be detrimental to other aspects of your life. So do please carry on using disbelief after you've done any form of meditation, ritual, whatever. But also carry on taking notes, be they written or mental, as to what has happened during your experimental situation, to try and work out what's really going on there. Remember that the phrase "it worked" just demonstrates pure stupidity, because you don't precisely know what it was that worked. I know that I can create, under some strange circumstances, some strange phenomenon, and realistically I better leave it at that, okay? But if we go back to the subject of demonology in particular, and what it can mean for yourself, I mean, obviously the whole system is dominated by quasi-gothic ideas, very John Dee-esque ideas of the circle and all the rest of it, and the use of the candles, the incense, the incantations, the prayers. It's all very much what you would traditionally ascribe to the role of a medieval occultist. And I suppose that's where the fun is, in the drama, in the visualization, in all the over-the-top stuff. And yes, suspension of disbelief through using ritual paraphernalia is it's part of the pleasure. That's part of the fun. And if your ritual is long enough and you've done enough prayer and meditation before and during your ritual, prior to making your spirit appear, you will start to get some strange things happening. And I'm going to leave it at that, because I don't want to give you too many expectations as to what can be achieved. I'm pretty convinced that anyone who's watching this video has never walked on water, has never been able to start a fire by the touch of their finger, and has never actually levitated through the air physically, okay? These things, if they can be achieved through magic, would require so much work that it's not possible for anyone to really do it. Well, certainly not anyone in this society today. So my message remains clear and plain. Have fun with magic. There's nothing evil or satanic or bad about this. Do whatever you need to basically protect your sanity under the situations you're going to be putting yourself through. You're going to experience some extreme states of mind, and basically have a lot of fun. Okay? Just don't go mad. Stay free, and don't let anyone turn around to you and tell you that this, that, or the other is 110% cast in stone facts of the universe, that they are great and powerful magicians, and that they can banish anything that they invoke, which they probably can't, because sometimes spirit things do seem to carry on lurking about afterwards, so you've got to be quite good at what you do. Maybe start with some higher power type entity like an angel or an archangel first, then work down to a shade of the dead, and then work down to a demon, so that you can learn more control over the states of mind prior to getting involved with something that's a bit sick, twisted and perverted, okay? Look after yourself. Bye.